The motherfucker has CTE, dog. Like, this is like when John Fetterman had a stroke and then became more conservative, right? He literally had a stroke and he's like, wow, I'm more right-wing now. And all the right-wingers were like, yay, welcome, brain damage, made you just like us, right? And this is the same thing. Like, the guy, he's not there mentally. And Rogan has him on and acts like, I'm sure this man has something of value to say. Like, oh my God. All right. So here we go. Oh God, this got under my skin so much. Let's listen.
Why'd you choose the helmet?
I feel like this is one of the lucrative helmets that they wear when they go to war.
Lucrative?
Yeah, lucrative. You know, this is the crash out buckets because I feel like when you wear this helmet, you already crashed out. It's like you committed to the crash out. Like
Right. You're all in.
All in. So I feel like we at war right now with the Democrats. I know.
Isn't that crazy to say?
I know. But,
it's crazy to say, but I know exactly what you're saying.
He's wearing a military helmet because he's at war with the Democrats. And Rogan, I know what you're saying. What happened? It was just like a week ago that you were like, bro, I'm not right-wing, I'm not left-wing, I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican, bro. I got like ideas all over the place, bro. Now it's guest saying with a fucking helmet on, I'm at war with the Democrats, and you're like, I get it, bro, war with the Democrats, I'm a centrist. I got ideas from all over the place, bro. Yeah, war with the Democrats, bro. Oh my God. Still haven't gotten to the worst part.
I just can't believe people say it, and it's true.
It's wild life right now.
What is like the Democrats are now the Republicans?
Yes.
The Democrats are now the Republicans. The Democrats are now the Republicans. If that's true, Joe, the Republicans are fucking fascists. They're just straight up Nazis, right? To the extent that that's true, the Democrats have moved to the right, but the Republicans have moved way further. They're off the fucking spectrum, homie. They are off. You got Elon Musk zig heiling something that Rogan was like, bro, I don't mean it's like autism or something, bro. Maybe he's got autism. Maybe you're just sending his heart out and stuff, bro. You got Elon responding to a Nazi on Twitter every other day going, you have told the actual truth. You got that going on. You got sending immigrants to Guantanamo Bay. You have threatening war with Greenland and Denmark and making Canada the 51st state and stealing Panama, and we're going to own Gaza and take it over. We're going to ethnically cleanse it. Got all that. But who's his criticism for? It's just for the Democrats, right? Because what he's saying is not what I'm saying. He's saying Democrats have become the Republicans, and he's trying to say Republicans have become like the Democrats of old. That's what he's trying to say. That's his implication. No, Joe. If Democrats have become Republicans, Republicans have become fucking fascists. But you support the fascism. Wait for it, because now this is chief hackery. Remember how we just talked about, oh, he used to be really curious, and that's what made Joe interesting, is that he had like a childlike curiosity, meant in the most positive way, right? That's what made him great at his job. That's what made him interesting and his show intriguing. Genuine childlike curiosity. Ready? Now you're going to see the least curious thing anybody's ever said. Pure right-wing MAGA hackery. This may as well have come from the lips of Rush Limbaugh or Sean Hannity or Charlie Kirk or Trump himself. Watch this.
Wow.
They're the ones trying to control speech.
They didn't even clap for the little kid.
Sorry, I didn't even get to the part yet because I had to respond to this. They're the ones trying to control speech. Literally today in this show, we're about to get to the story in a little bit. Donald Trump is rounding up pro-Palestine college students who were protesting Israel's genocide, rounding them up. ICE is detaining them in other states, and they're planning on deporting them. It's not even an undocumented immigrant. This is a permanent resident with the green card. They're going to revoke the green card of somebody simply for exercising their free speech and criticizing a U.S.-backed genocide. And he says the Democrats are anti-free speech. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't with this guy. The hackery is off the charts. You're telling me he's unfamiliar with any of the stories of Trump being anti-free speech at this late date? He's unfamiliar with that? He sued Ann Selzer for a poll he didn't like. He sued CBS for how it edited a Kamala Harris interview. He sued Simon & Schuster for a Bob Woodward book because it quoted him and he didn't like the quote. He threatened to de-license news outlets that criticize him. He wants to punish flag burning with a year in jail. He sued CNN for $475 million for calling his election denialism the big lie. He sued Bill Maher for $5 million over a joke. He says he supports opening up the libel laws to sue journalists. He called for jailing journalists who reported on the Supreme Court abortion ruling. He wants to deport pro-Palestine protesters, and now they're literally already doing that. He gag ordered the EPA from telling the truth on climate change. He arrested and charged 6 journalists with felony rioting. He didn't pardon Assange. He didn't pardon Snowden. He didn't pardon Daniel Hale. He wanted to invoke the Insurrection Act to deploy U.S. troops against George Floyd protesters, and he called to terminate all rules, regulations, and articles in the Constitution over his election loss. And you're going to tell me Democrats are anti-free speech. Democrats are anti-free speech. Joe, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You have zero clue what the fuck you're talking about. Or you know, and you're just lying to further suck up to MAGA and get another fucking invite to Mar-a-Lago because Joe Rogan was at the inauguration of Donald Trump. Oh, mister, I'm in the middle, bro. I got ideas all over the place, bro. Except I endorsed Trump and MAGA and then went to the inauguration and partied with all the fucking criminal assholes he's surrounded by. Oh, my God. I told you, I didn't even get to the part yet that pisses me off the most. I did not even get to the part yet. Here we go.
That was some bullshit.
They didn't clap for the little kid. They didn't clap for the lady who got fucked up by that volleyball player that was a dude. They didn't clap for Lake and Riley, who got murdered by the illegal immigrants.
Didn't clap for Lake and Riley. Joe, do you understand what cheap demagoguery is? The reason Trump is bringing the family members of people who were the victims of crimes committed by undocumented immigrants, the whole reason he's doing that is to demagogue and say all undocumented immigrants are responsible for these specific crimes. They're all guilty enough. They're all criminal enough. They're all bad. We got to kick them all out. Get rid of all the undocumented immigrants. That is cheap demagoguery. I could, on this show, I could pull up specific examples of the worst crimes you've ever fucking heard about. Serial killing done by hardcore right-wing extremists. And I can focus on that all day, every day on the show and give people the misimpression. Literally every Republican in this country, every right-wing person in this country, they're a danger. They're criminal. We should do something about the problem of these people, right? Shouldn't we do something about it? That's the idea. He's trying to say all undocumented immigrants are responsible for the specific crimes that he's referencing. That's the idea. He's trying to dehumanize. This is literally right out of the fucking Nazi playbook. Bring up some specific examples of some Jewish people that commit crimes or do something bad and then harp away on that and give people the impression, we gotta do something about the Jewish problem. Do something about the Jewish problem. That's what this is. He doesn't fucking see it. And then, by the way, he calls a trans athlete a dude, right? What happened, Joe? I thought you were only concerned about, transing the kids or something. Now, all of a sudden, anybody who's trans is a dude. If they're a trans woman, okay. But again, he brought up the thing, oh, they didn't clap for the kid with cancer. More.
Well, it's just we're so divided. It's so you can't clap for a little kid who survived cancer. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, where your heart at?
Like he's on their side, so you can't clap for this little kid. Like you're upset. Yeah. This little kid's watching you not clap at him. Yeah, that's crazy. That's a little child.
Yeah, hurting his heart.
A child with cancer, and you can't put your shit aside to give that kid some love. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You want to know why Democrats weren't clapping, Joe? Not that you actually give a shit, because even after you learn this fact, you would still say the same thing and lie to your audience over and over and over. Here's the reason why Democrats weren't clapping. Republicans dropped measures to help kids with cancer from the spending bill. Democrats pounced. This didn't happen that long ago. This was very recent, and this was very prominently in the news, and people like me were talking about it all the time. Other people were talking about it all the time. Republicans literally cut out pediatric cancer research from a spending bill. They slashed it. Elon is also doing massive cuts to the NIH, the National Institutes of Health, about 70%. That would devastate child cancer research. Devastate it. So Donald Trump uses a kid with cancer as a prop. Meanwhile, the Republicans and Trump are cutting child cancer research. That's why they're not clapping. They're not clapping because Trump is a fucking liar scumbag using a kid with cancer as a prop. That's why. He doesn't give a fuck about kids with cancer. Couldn't care less. If he did care about kids with cancer, not only would they not slash the cancer funding, they would increase it. They would increase it. But no, on multiple fronts, they've cut pediatric cancer research. On multiple fronts, right? And that's not all. Trump literally said in the speech, oh, doctors think that this kid got cancer from some toxic chemicals, like some forever chemicals in the atmosphere where he was. And so they think that that's the reason he got cancer. Joe, guess who deregulated those those exact chemicals he was talking about. Trump withdraws proposed forever chemicals discharge limits from consideration. Trump deregulated the PFAS, the forever chemicals that give people cancer. In other words, another way of saying that is he's letting big business pollute with the PFAS, pollute with the forever chemicals, which are going to give more people cancer. So the reason Democrats weren't clapping is because